New details in the shooting at a Southern California fire station. Police say an off-duty firefighter opened fire on two co-workers, then drove to his home 10 miles away, barricaded himself inside, and set the house on fire. When police finally made it inside, they found the gunman dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. At the fire station at Santa Clarita, 45 miles north of LA, police found a 44-year-old veteran crew member dead. A 54-year-old captain was taken to the hospital in critical condition. A motive has still not been released. The Los Angeles Times reporting there was an ongoing dispute between the firefighter who was killed and the shooter.
An off-duty firefighter allegedly shot and killed one person and injured another at a Los Angeles fire station, station number 81, in Agua Dulce, California, which is near Santa Clarita.
An active scene here. We are about a half a mile away from Fire Station 81, which we have been talking about all morning long. The scene of that tragic shooting where we have learned, according to our sources, that one firefighter was tragically killed, another injured, and we do not know that firefighter's condition, but we did see as that individual was airlifted to Henry Mayo earlier this morning. It all started around 10:53, so just minutes before 11 a.m. We learned that deputies from Palmdale Sheriff Station responded here to this Fire Station 81 in Agua Dulce regarding multiple gunshot victims at that location. And now here we are close to 2 hours later, an active scene here where investigators are trying to figure out just what happened. We don't know about motive. We don't know much about the circumstances surrounding this. We know, though, that at this fire station along Sierra Highway in Agua Dulce, a rural area surrounded by ranches, we know that this tragic shooting took place, and we're learning new details as we monitor this other scene not far from here that you both just talked about in Acton, a home which we have seen burning, where we know the LA Sheriff's Department Special Enforcement Bureau, so essentially SWAT, has been, and where the LA Times is reporting that according to property records, the home is owned by a county firefighter.
The off-duty employee, a firefighter specialist and engineer, was found dead in a burning home in Acton, which is about 10 miles from the scene of the shooting. We just witnessed this exact narrative play out in the San Jose shooting that occurred on May 26th, where a Valley Transit worker allegedly killed 9 people and then committed suicide after he set his house on fire.
8 lives lost after a gunman opened fire at the city's rail yard. The gunman, we now know, is an employee at that rail yard. According to officials, at about the same time the shooting was unfolding, officials were also called to a fire at the gunman's home. And investigators are still trying to determine if the gunman, who they say took his own life, was trying to do much worse.
After revealing the hidden meaning in the event from San Jose, we discovered that it was meant to increase the clarity, fame, and brightness of Lucifer. You will remember that in the response to this orchestrated satanic ritual event, Gavin Newsom said, "What the hell is wrong with us?"
It begs the damn question, what the hell's going on in the United States of America? What the hell's wrong with us?
The blood sacrifice, the mention of hell, and the fires all connect both of these incidents to the fires of hell. And just like the shooting in San Jose, the names in this event hide several secrets as well. The shooting at the firehouse occurred on Sierra Vista. Sierra Vista means mountain view and is a reference to the broad, sweeping views one would see whilst standing atop of a mountain. Remember this reference to standing on top of a mountain, as we will come back to it later. The name Santa is an anagram for Satan. The name Clarita comes from Clara, the feminine of Claras, which means bright, shining, and clear. The city of Acton, which is where the alleged shooter was found dead while his house was engulfed in an inferno, actually means oak grove. In the classical world, the oak was regarded as the tree of life, as its deep roots penetrate deep into the underworld and its branches soar towards the sky. The oak was also held sacred to Zeus and Jupiter. Further, the oak was the tree of the thunder god, Thor, and sacred oak groves were also frequented by druids who would use them to worship Baal. Therefore, the purpose of this shooting at the fire station, as well as the subsequent inferno at the alleged shooter's home, was to give the world a broad, sweeping view of Satan, making him bright, shining, and clear to the view of all. This was done in worship of Baal, or Thor, the god of thunder and the god of the underworld. Who then are they pointing us to as the embodiment of Satan? The answer is found in the victim who was killed, 44-year-old fallen fire engineer Tori Carlin, as well as the 54-year-old who was wounded. The number 44 points us to Barack Obama, and the description fallen points us to him as being indwelt by the fallen angel. The name Tori means outlaw, and an outlaw actually means one who is outside of the law or lawless. It also means one who has been banished, an outcast, or one who was cast out. The name Carlin means peasant, which comes from pagan, meaning a person who has no religious faith, a heathen. Therefore, the name of the 44-year-old fallen fireman actually means the lawless one who was banished and cast out, the pagan who has no religious faith, a heathen who was rejected from the army of Mashiach. This fallen man of fire, number 44, represents the devil. Interestingly enough, the name of the city where the shooting took place, Agua Dulce, is near the infamous Vasquez Rocks, and in 1874, Tiburcio Vasquez, one of California's most notorious Mexican bandidos, used these rocks to elude capture by law enforcement. These rocks have also been used in several Hollywood films, from Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey to Star Trek and Blazing Saddles. Most importantly though, the Lion King's Pride Rock was inspired by the Vasquez Rock Formation. Clearly, this connects the shooting at Agua Dulce in the Vasquez Rock Formation back to Barack Obama, who identified himself as the Lion King.
Tonight, for the first time, I am releasing my official birth video.
This is also connected to the Sierra Vista or mountain view that we spoke about earlier, since Simba was raised up on Pride Rock for the entire kingdom to behold. We also know that pride was the sin which caused Lucifer to be cast down. Ezekiel chapter 28 verse 17 declares, "Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee." The Vasquez Rock Formation is notable for its distinct shape, which protrudes from the ground at approximately a 45-degree angle. According to Solomon's magical key of 45. The number 45 represents the 45-degree angle which invisible entities or angelic beings use for interdimensional travel. It is no coincidence then that Agua Dulce is 45 miles away from Los Angeles,
45 miles north of LA,
or the lost and fallen angels. It is important to note that the number 45 is the number the Chicago Bull Michael Jordan wore when he returned from retirement. As discussed previously, Michael Jordan's name means "who is like God, the fallen one," and he has 6 rings, which is a reference to Saturn or Satan. The number 45 and the reference to Saturn or the hexagram also connects back to the 45 people that were killed in the stampede in Israel. Both the number 45 or 4 plus 5 and its twin or mirror image 54 or 5 plus 4 when added together equals 9. You will remember in our previous discussions that according to Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, that the number 9 represents Satan as well. When we add up the ages of the 2 victims, 44 and 54, we get the number 17, since 4 plus 4 equals 8, 5 plus 4 equals 9, and 9 plus 8 equals 17. I have shown you in the past how the number 17 is used in ritual blood sacrifices and mass shooting events like the murder of XXX Tentacion, who was connected to the number 17, as well as the 17 killed and 17 injured at Stoneman Douglas, and the 17-minute video of the mass shooting in New Zealand.
This is just a still. Now, we would never show you the video. In all 17 minutes of it.
The shooting occurred on June 1st at 10:53 a.m. in Agua Dulce.
Earlier this morning, it all started around 10:53, so just minutes before 11 a.m.
The name Agua Dulce means sweet water. June 1st is the 153rd day of the year. Why is this important? Because it connects back to the bridge which collapsed in 2018 at the FIU Sweetwater campus, killing 6 people on March 15th, or 315. The number 315 is the same as 153 and points to June 1st, the 153rd day of the year. Also, 15 times 3 equals 45. The distance from Agua Dulce, or Sweetwater, to Los Angeles, the lost and fallen angels. And we know that 4 plus 5 equals 9, the number of Satan. The number 153 also connects to the 153 fishes that were caught in the net. And interestingly enough, the number 153 is the numerical total for the Hebrew phrase Anai Elohim, which means I am God.
Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth.
The FIU Sweetwater Bridge was 174 feet long, and it collapsed at 1:47 p.m. The bridge crossed Southwest 8th Street, which is an 8-lane roadway. This connects it with the number 88 and the false god, Mercury. Since Mercury is the god of merchants, this also points to Mystery Babylon, who rides the beast with 7 heads and 10 horns, whom the merchants of the earth commit fornication with. The bridge in Sweetwater was 174 feet long, or 17:4. Revelation chapter 17 verse 4 speaks about Mystery Babylon when it declares, "And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication." The bridge fell at 1:47 p.m. onto Southwest 8th Street, or 147 and 8. Revelation chapter 14 verses 7 and 8 declares, saying with a loud voice, "Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment is come, and worship him that made heaven and earth and the sea and the fountains of waters." And there followed another angel, saying, "Babylon is fallen, that great city, because she made all nations drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." The name of the company that built the bridge in Sweetwater is Fig Bridge Engineers. The name Fig in Sweetwater also connects this incident to the scriptures as well. James chapter 3 verses 11 through 12 declare, "Doth a fountain send forth at the same place sweet water and bitter? Can the fig tree, my brethren, bear olive berries, either a vine figs? So can no fountain both yield salt water and sweet." This scripture lets us know how to recognize the true nature of things by what they produce. Interestingly enough, this shooting and the subsequent fire by a fireman is also connected to a bridge. Notice a memorial was set up on the Connie Wharton Roberts Memorial Bridge for the fallen fire engineer above the 14 freeway.
Attention all county units along the 14 freeway. Please stand at attention. Saluting Engineer Tori Carlin.
Since 4 + 1 = 5, this connects back to the 5 freeway in Los Angeles and O.J. Simpson's slow speed chase in the white Bronco, which was driven by AC, a reference to the Antichrist riding the white horse.
You're reporting. This is AC. I have OJ in the car. Okay, where are you? Please, I'm coming up the 5 freeway. Okay. Right now, we all.
The 5 freeway points to the sounding of the 5th trumpet and the release of the king of the bottomless pit. The memorial used 2 extended fire ladders to form a pyramid with the American flag draped in the middle, where the all-seeing eye would normally be positioned. Notice that one of the trucks was engine number 126. 1 + 2 + 6 = 9, the number of Satan. The American flag has 13 stripes, which represents the number of rebellion, and it also has 50 stars. You will recall that the number 50 represents the Jubilee year and points to the setting free of prisoners, the opening of the abyss, and the setting free of the demons and the king of the bottomless pit. If you look closer, the fire truck ladders also formed the letter X. We know that the letter X is the symbol for death and connects back to the deaths of Chadwick Boseman, who was depicted as a false messiah and played in the movie 42 which points to the 42 months that the Antichrist will speak blasphemies against the Most High. The letter X also connects to rapper DMX, or Dark Man X, whose death was connected to the Lord of the Flies and the Prince of Darkness through the death of Prince Philip, which occurred on the same day, April 9th, or 4/9, which also equals 13, the number of rebellion. The shooting occurred at Fire Station 81, and 81 backwards is 18, which gives us the number 666. The shooting occurred on June 1st, or 6/1, which, when reversed, is 1/6 and points back to the insurrection on Capitol Hill, which occurred on 1/6. This insurrection was a physical, real-world example of the number 13, or rebellion and revolution, played out for all to see. Remember, I told you that the number 16 represents the 16th Trump Tower Tarot card. The 16th Trump Tower card represents chaos and sudden and destructive change. We also know that the Delta, or pyramid, represents change as well and connects to Obama's slogan of change. Another word for crown is corona, and it is clear that the coronavirus has caused the entire world to undergo a massive amount of sudden, disruptive, and destructive change. But there is more change to come. On May 28, 2021, a report was aired concerning leaked military radar readings which back up reports of unidentified flying objects harassing a Navy ship off the coast of California, as the Pentagon prepares to tell Congress what they know about UFO sightings.
Videos recorded by U.S. Navy personnel have added a new layer of evidence to the current national debate about UFOs. For the first time, radar images recorded inside a Navy ship have confirmed the presence of several unknown objects that swarmed around the ship for hours. I-Team reporter George Knapp here with a story that broke today on Mystery Wire.
Thanks, Brian. Over the past 3 years or so, the public has been able to see several astounding images of what certainly qualify as UFOs during encounters with the U.S. Navy. There's no question that the Pentagon has censored data to go along with the photos and videos, but none of that information has been leaked or otherwise released. That is, until today.
For 2 long hours on the night of July 15, 2019, the crew of the USS Omaha detected on multiple sensor systems unknown objects that surrounded the ship as it moved through ocean waters west of San Diego. One of the objects, a self-illuminated sphere at least 6 feet in diameter, flew alongside the Omaha for an extended period and was observed through a thermal sensor in the ship's combat center.
This video was taken July 15th, 2019. The date, July 15th, or 7/15, is 7 + 1 + 5 equals 13, the number of rebellion. The ship that took the video was called the Omaha. The name Omaha means dwellers in the bluff. The word bluff means to make an attempt to deceive someone. Deception, subterfuge, hoax, delusion, trick, ruse, a sham, and fake. Navy ships sail the seas, and another word for the depths of the ocean is the abyss, which points us to the bottomless pit. You will remember Osama bin Laden's body was supposedly given to the abyss.
Correspondent Jake Tapper. And Jake, you've learned more about laying Osama bin Laden's body to rest at sea and how that was transported, how that was fulfilled. And
And in like manner, Megatron, the alien Decepticon's body, was given to the abyss as well.
And the remains of the dead aliens disposed of. The Laurentian Abyss is 7 miles below sea level, deepest place on our planet. The massive depth and pressure there, coupled with sub-freezing temperatures, would crush and entomb them, leaving no evidence.
Therefore, the fact that they are now connecting aliens or Decepticons with the abyss or the bottomless pit is no coincidence. The name of the news reporter delivering this story is Brian Loftus. Brian means high and noble, which means to be born of the upper class, which is higher than the common man. The name Loftus comes from the Old Norse loft, meaning air, sky, or the upper room. Therefore, the name of this reporter points us to the angelic beings that are born of a higher class, more so than the common man, since they are from the sky, the air, the upper room, which is the heavenly or celestial realm. Hebrews chapter 2 verse 9 confirms that the angels are born of a higher class than common men when, in speaking about Mashiach, who was born as a man for the purpose of salvation, it declares, "But we see Yahushua, who was made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he, by the grace of God, should taste death for every man." In fact, to drive this point home, you will notice that the name Loftus also hides the word UFO in it. When you reverse the name and remove the letters L, T, and S, you are left with UFO. Again, this is not coincidence. But what is the purpose of these so-called UFO sightings? I believe it is being done because at some point in the near future, the fallen angels will appear to man and attempt to deceive mankind into believing that they are aliens from another planet. Hence the name of the ship, Omaha, as a reference to the dwellers in the bluff or in deception. This will also be a way to explain away the harpazo to those who are left behind. They will claim that the Reaper angels, who are sent by Yah to collect his children before his wrath is poured out onto the earth, are instead evil aliens that kidnapped those who were raptured from the earth. The fallen angels will also tell mankind that they will help to defend them against these evil aliens who are actually the angels of God. Remember Ronald Reagan's speech to the UN about an alien threat that would unite humanity.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bond. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
We were shown this once again in the movie Independence Day, where mankind united to fight against aliens.
We can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. We will be united in our common interest. Perhaps it's fate that Today is the 4th of July, and you will once again be fighting for our freedom.
This reference to Independence Day was purposefully done as it connects to the spirit of rebellion and revolution of July 4th, 1776.
So tonight I want to talk as plainly as I can about the stakes in this election. Because what we do these next 76 days will echo through generations to come. I'm in Philadelphia, where our Constitution was drafted and signed.
The scriptures tell us about strange things appearing on earth in the last days in Luke chapter 21, verse 26, which declares, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. This is another way the people of the world will be duped into joining Satan and his demonic fallen angels from the fiery depths of the abyss in rebellion to fight against God. If you have not given your life to the Most High by accepting the blood sacrifice of the Paschal Lamb, which was shed on the cross for the redemption of sins, the time to do so is now. Amen. Shalom.